Hello students, good morning all. Today our topic reported speech presented by Priyadarshini, ZPHS Girls, Shankarpalli, Rangareddy District. What do you mean by reported speech? The reported speech, the words itself saying, reporting something about some topic. Here we'll see with the example what is the reporting speech. The teacher is explaining the lesson in the classroom. What is the teacher doing in this classroom? Yes, teacher is explaining the lesson in the classroom. All the students are present on the day. Hopefully, some will be absent. Then, how will they recover their lessons? Let us see. Group discussions. Yes, in the group discussions, the students will discuss about the topics which were discussed in the class when you were absent. Here, group discussion, the class which was done when you were absent to the school. Here, the student who was present on that day will carry the information to the home and they will share the information with you. Here, they are conveying the message and they are conveying the topic details to you. That is nothing but they are reporting about something. See, direct speech. When the words spoken by a person are placed within the inverted commas is called direct speech. Here in the previous slides, we saw class teacher or the teacher is explaining the lesson, that is the direct speech. Here is an example for it. Children, come for lunch, said Granny. Children, come for lunch, said Granny. Here, the person who spoke these words are in inverted commas and it is separated by a comma, and we'll check the indirect speech. When the words of the speaker are told by another speaker is called indirect speech, that is a reported speech. We see this indirect or reported speech in the previous slide when they are doing group discussion about the particular class or particular topic. Here, the example for the indirect speech, Granny told the children that it was time for lunch. You can find out the differences between these two sentences. In the direct speech, the spoken words are in inverted commas. Then, in the indirect speech, there is no inverted commas and the words were changed. In the direct speech, the example is children come for lunch, said Granny. In the indirect speech, Granny told the children that it was time for lunch. Let's see in detail. From textbook, page number 53. First one. Now notice the verb changes and how different connectors are added. Observe this sentence. Rama said to Sita. Inverted commas begin. I like swimming. This is in direct speech. In this direct speech, you can observe two parts. In the first part, it is called reporting part. Rama said to Sita. And the second part, that is called reported part. I like swimming. When we are changing the direct speech into the indirect speech, the following steps we have to consider, or we have to go through these steps. First one, indirect or reported speech should start with the same subject. And the second one, reporting verb in first part will be changed. You can observe in the first part there is a reporting verb. Third one, remove comma which is in first part and write that in that comma place. Fourth point, in reported part, subject or person should be changed. Observe the second part in the given sentence. I like swimming. Here, I is the subject in the given sentence. So, coming to the rule, fourth point, in reported part, subject or person should be changed. We'll see how I will change. Fifth one, in reported part, tense must be changed. After following all these 5 rules, we'll see the indirect or reported speech. Rama told Sita that he liked swimming. See how the direct speech changed into indirect. Rama said to change as told. Sita remains same. In the third rule, we observe remove comma which is in first part and write that in that comma place. So we remove that comma and we replaced that comma with that. Observe the fourth rule. In reported part, subject or person should be changed. When it comes to the indirect speech, here I changed into he. Why he? Why not she? Why? Because here Rama said to Sita. So Rama is the subject here. The first rule you can observe. In indirect or reported speech should start with the same subject. Here the same subject is Rama. So Rama is the third person singular. So when we change that direct speech sentence into indirect speech, Rama told Sita that he liked swimming. You can observe the fifth rule for indirect speech. In reported part, tense must be changed. This is completely interlinked with each other. Rama told Sita that he liked swimming. Reporting verbs. First of all, we see in the past tense. Why? Because our previous example is in a past tense. That's why I'm showing you the past tense reporting verbs. Direct speech, indirect speech. In the direct speech, set as a reporting verb. The set is remains as the same in the indirect speech also. Come to the second one. Set to. In indirect speech, it will change to told. Direct speech, told. In indirect speech, it becomes told to. You can observe the same sentence as the example here. Direct speech. Rama said to Sita, I like swimming. Here, when we convert that direct speech into indirect speech or reported speech, Rama told Sita that he liked swimming. You can observe the reporting verb is changed into another verb. Here in the direct speech it is said to, and when it comes to the indirect speech it is told. Now we'll see in the present tense. Direct speech, indirect speech. Say changed to say only, says, says, say to changed as tell, says to changed as tells. We'll see the examples here. First one, direct speech. Rama says to Sita, I like laddu. Observe the reporting verb says to. In indirect speech, Rama tells Sita that he likes laddu. And follow the 5 rules compulsorily in each and every sentence. Then it will become easy to convert direct speech into indirect. Come to the second one, direct speech. They say to students, you come in uniform. Direct speech. They tell students that they come in uniform. Here in the first example, Rama says to Sita, why yes is added to say? Why? Because Rama is the third person singular. In the simple present tense, the verb includes yes or es. That's why in the direct speech, the first example, Rama says to Sita. That continues in the indirect speech also. Rama tells Sita. This is the simple present tense. Rama tells Sita. Here, verb form includes yes. In the second example, they say to students. Here, they is the third person plural. So, there is no s or es to the verb. The sentence is, they say to students, you come in uniform. Observe the chart which is given above. Just check it once. How the reporting verb changed from direct to indirect. Says, say to. Say to changed as tell. Let's check these examples again. Rama says to Sita, I like laddu. Indirect speech. Rama tells Sita that he likes laddus. Next, second example. They say to students, you come in uniform. Indirect speech. They tell students that they come in uniform. Second one. The change in the pronoun is based on the person of the subject and object in direct speech. Here is a chart how the pronouns will be converted in indirect speech. Example is given below the chart. Direct speech. Ram said to Sita, I like swimming, but Gopal likes badminton. In indirect speech or reported speech, Ram told Sita that he liked swimming, but Gopal liked badminton. Observe these two sentences I gave in red color with the underlined word. In a direct speech, I was there. In indirect speech, instead of I, it was replaced with he. It is a relevant or a related pronoun. In the direct speech, I refers to Ram. In the indirect speech also, he refers to Ram. Third one, change of tense. If the verb in the reporting clause is in the present tense, the verb between the quotes will remain unchanged. Observe this once again. If the verb in the reporting clause is in the present tense, the verb between the quotes will remain unchanged. That means if the reporting verb is in the present tense, the reported verb will not change. We'll see the examples. Direct speech. Ram says to Sita, I like laddu. In indirect speech, Ram tells Sita that he likes laddu. In the direct speech, the reported part is in simple present tense. The simple present tense is also in indirect speech. You can see that Ram tells Sita that he likes laddu. By adding yes or es, we can easily identify that the given sentence is in simple present tense. We'll see the next example. They will again say, we want more marks. Once again I am repeating. They will again say, we want more marks. By looking the word will, we can decide that that is in a future tense. When it comes to the indirect speech, they will again say that they want more marks. Here I highlighted with the yellow color. The reporting verb is say, that is in the present tense. So, the verb between the quotes will remain unchanged. We can see it clearly here. Only we pronoun is changed in the reported speech as they, and comma replaced with that, and remaining all same. Let's see these examples again. First one, Ram says to Sita, I like laddu. In indirect speech or reported speech, Ram tells Sita that he likes laddu. These sentences are in simple present tense. Second example, they will again say, we want more marks. In indirect speech, they will again say that they want more marks. Fourth one, if the verb in the reporting clause is in the past tense, the verb between the quotes will also be in the past tense. Similarly, we discussed in the third point, that is, if the reporting clause is in the present tense, the verb between the quotes will also be in the present tense. Here in the fourth point, the reporting clause is in the past tense, the verb between the quotes will be in the past tense only. Let's see examples. Direct speech. Ram said to Sita, I like swimming. Here the reported second part of the sentence, you can see I like. Like here, it indicates the present tense, but the reporting clause or a reporting verb here said to. Said itself says that it is in the past tense. So the verb between the quotes also be in the past tense. We'll check in the direct indirect speech. Ram told Sita that he liked swimming. You can observe two changes are there. Ram said to Sita. In indirect speech, Ram told Sita. I highlighted these two parts. And when in the reported part, I like swimming. Here in the indirect speech, he liked swimming. So, hope this is clear. In the present tense, if the reporting clause is in the present tense, the verb between the quotes also in the present tense. When the reporting clause in the past tense, the verb between the quotes will also be in the past tense. Fifth one, an exemption to this past tense rule is when the reported clause is a universal truth or a scientific fact. Here, this is an exemption. Where we can give an exemption to these rules? Yes, when the reported clause is universal truth or a scientific fact. Let's see one example here. Ram said, wood floats on water. This is a scientific fact. We'll see how the direct speech changed or converted into indirect speech. Ram said that wood floats on water. Here, there is no much changes in these sentences. Only instead of comma, we can see that. So this is very easy to convert direct to indirect. Let's see the example again. Ram said. Said means that is the reporting verb is in past tense. But here is a scientific fact. Ram said wood floats on water. Indirect speech. Ram said that wood floats on water. After discussing different types of rules, here are some textual exercises for you. Now change the following into indirect speech or reported speech. First one. Sindhu is my daughter, said Ramakrishna Reddy. I will catch you in a minute, replied Seema. Shyam has eaten my chocolate, says Arun. The smugglers will be back, the man said. Seema will say, it is a wonderful adventure. After knowing the rules and discussion about the direct and indirect speeches or the reported speeches, here are the answers for the textual exercises. Answers. Sindhu is my daughter, said Ramakrishna Reddy. Indirect speech. Ramakrishna Reddy said that Sindhu was his daughter. Here, is converted into was. We don't know the particular time when the Ramakrishna Reddy was said about Sindhu. That's why according to the rules, implementing the rules here, we are changing by the support of reporting clause or a reporting verb. The reported part will be changed into past tense. Sindhu is my daughter, said Ramakrishna Reddy. In direct speech, Ramakrishna Reddy said that Sindhu was his daughter. Second example, I will catch you in a minute, replied Seema. Here the subject Seema will come in the beginning of the sentence. Seema replied that. Here in the direct speech, I will. I will means who is saying this sentence? Obviously, Seema. That's why when somebody is saying her words, they should refer as she. So the sentence is, Seema replied that she would catch him or her in a minute. Third one, Shyam has eaten my chocolate, says Arun. Here, says reporting verb saying that it is in a present tense. So the indirect speech is, Arun says that Shyam has eaten his chocolate. Fourth one, the smugglers will be back, the man said. What is the subject here? The man. The man said that the smugglers would be back. Here in the reported part, the smugglers will be back. Here the will is changed as would. And the fifth one, in the direct speech, Seema will say, it is a wonderful adventure. Here the reporting verb is say. So the reported part will not change. In indirect speech, Seema will say that it is a wonderful adventure. Hope you all understood this session. Thank you all. We'll meet in the next class.